Okay, y'all. So here's my thoughts on the Kim Porter medium video that's circulating around. Um, First and foremost, I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. I feel that, how can I say this? I don't want it to sound messed up. I feel that it's true partially, if that makes sense. Because here's my dilemma, right? I'm trying to find the right words to say. I feel that the medium really was talking to her, but I don't know if it's just me. How can I say this? I was raised in a Baptist church, okay? And I don't know about anybody else, but, well, I started going to church at another church when I was really younger, but you know, as you get older, you go to a different church that you like. When you actually are older, you have to say so over your life of what church you want to go to. Y'all get my drift. But for the most part, both pastors always told us, stay away from psychics, prophets, because they both said it's the devil's work. Okay? Now, it's a flip side to that, y'all. See where I'm going with this? I told you all, once upon a time, I saw one prophet. And he looked at me and he told me that he said, I see so much hurt in your eyes. You know, some things that he was saying, and he told me, God is telling me to tell you apologize. And I'm like, I never forget, I was almost 18 years old. And I said, apologize for what? And he said, God is telling me to tell you, apologize to one of your worst enemies. Right? And I'm like, what? Apologize to them when they did something to me? He said, yes. Apologize. And if you do that, God is going to move a mountain in your life. But I'm like, what if I don't mean it? What if he said, God said, do it anyway? And he said, next. So that was him telling me get out of line, right? And I did it. And when I told you I went through a lot growing up as far as school, right? Not at home, but school mostly, right? And it was hard for me because it was like, why am I apologizing to them? You know, da-da-da. And I did. And I told you I used to fight a lot growing up. Long story, but let's just say God made it so I still was able to get my high school diploma, advanced high school diploma at that, because it was hard for me because I kept getting suspended. And you know, some schools are like, they don't care about your grades. If your behavior is if you keep messing up, they don't want to release it. You see what I'm saying? Because you keep getting suspended. So God worked that out for me. And that's why, you know, it's kind of confusing because it's like, part of me is like, okay, what they be saying, what they say, sometimes, you know, they say it's the devil's work. But obviously that prophet knew when he said, I see so much hurt in your eyes. I feel like you feel that this, you feel that, and da-da-da-da. And I'm saying to myself, he don't know what he's talking about. He probably tell everybody that. But I did as he said, and that mountain was moved, right? So I'm going to tell you the part that I feel is true. I'm going to tell you the part where I'm kind of side-eyeing the medium. Then I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. Maybe not in that exact order, but I'm going to let you know that some things I'm about to say is probably going to be kind of, you know, but that's how I feel, right? So first and foremost, I'm gonna say this. Wait, off the dome. I don't like when the medium said this. The part that kind of I would side eye her. I don't like when she said she wants me to think that she wants me to know that she's smart. she cares about, I'm saying to myself, well, damn, why can't she be smart? Why does she, I don't know, that kind of made me say, okay, girl, what was she using, big words, or it's just kind of like, anyway, so that's the part why I side-eyed the lady. For those that are wondering what would make you side-eye her, that part, it seemed like it was shade to me. It seemed like it was shade. I'm saying to myself, damn, she in the afterlife, people still throwing shade? What the hell? But I saw one interview with Kim Porter where the guy was talking to her and she kept walking as if he was as if he wasn't there. And it kind of made me like, you don't hear this man, talking to you. Like, it was kind of mean to me. To me, it was like, you don't see him talking to you. But then I know people always say it's not good to talk to the press. It's not good to talk to the tabloids because they're going to twist it however way they want to anyway. So you just keep walking. He was taking a lot of pictures of her, asking her a lot of questions. And she just kept walking as if he wasn't standing there. Is it, but then it's like, okay, they say don't talk to them, but I don't know. To me, it came across as a mean girl move to me. But I don't know. I've heard people say you don't talk to them, but nonetheless, the medium told us that she is in heaven. I wasn't really surprised. I haven't heard a lot of bad things about her. I've heard people say she was a good person, beautiful spirit. To me, it's kind of like a DC Young Fly baby mama, Jackie. It's the halo effect. People being, so beautiful that people automatically assume they're a wonderful person. Let's just be honest. A lot of people get that because it's like you automatically assume they are just so this and that because they're pretty. We don't know them. And it seems like to me the same thing with Jackie. People was always saying, y'all know I have a speech impediment, so whatever. People was always saying she's this, she's that. But unless you have met this person and have been around this person, to me, I'm just like, let's just be realistic here. We don't know. Now, I'm pretty sure Jackie, just like Kim, was a good person. Most likely because we didn't hear them in drama. We didn't have we ever heard of Jackie name, DC Young Fly baby mama? Have we ever heard of her in any drama? Anything? We haven't. So, and Kim, I don't think we've heard of her in any drama either. So, hey, but just because a person doesn't get in drama, that doesn't mean that makes them a good person. That's a sidebar. Because sometimes people are good at hiding who they are. Just saying. Not saying them necessarily, but just saying. But nonetheless. I'm going to tell you something else I liked about the interview. I like how she just went ahead and... Excuse me, I just drank a Pepsi. I like how she just went ahead and told us that she's fine. She's with God. I'm pretty sure that her daughters, when they get older, that will, make their heart happy, knowing that they'll be with her, one day. I'm gonna tell y'all something I don't like. The fact that the daughters, when they get older, people don't understand they're gonna have access to all this information. They're gonna have access to it. And I couldn't imagine as a child, I don't care how much money you have, I couldn't imagine as a child people alleging that my dad did something to my mom. You got to think, the girls are only 17 at this point. They're still a child. Their mother was swept away from them very young. I don't care how much money or wealth that you have, it's probably still hard to fulfill that void. Then you can get girlfriend after girlfriend. They could be a great stepmother, but they still not Kim. It's not. That's still not their mama. You see what I'm saying? It's still not the same. Okay, so what else do I like? what else stood out to me in the interview? I'm trying to think. I listened to the entire interview, by the way. One thing that the medium said to me that kind of stood out, when she said Kim is telling her that she had like a notebook or a phone or something, she said, I can't remember, don't quote me on it. And she said something about a phone that other people got, but she had a whole nother phone that people knew nothing about. And she kept it away. If I'm not mistaken, was it a notebook or a phone? And when y'all listen to the interview, if you haven't listened to it, you'll hear what she was saying. And she was like, it's somewhere nobody has had access to it just yet. But she was saying how Kim was really good at keeping it away from people. But the thing is, when you do stuff like that, when you drop dead and nobody knows where it is, then what? So that to me kind of hit close to home for myself, because I don't know about nobody else, but I journal. And the only regret that I have about journaling, I wish I had journaled sooner, like when I was younger. Because one thing Keke Palmer said, when you do stuff like that, you can look back on your journal as you get older and you can see how far you've come. As you look at the dates and and for me, it's kind of fun, because I'm going to tell you why. Because you write in your journal what you're going through on your job, school, whatever, family members or whatever. And let's say you put in your journal, hey, I'm about to start a job, I'm nervous, I don't know how it's going to go. Then months down the road, as you're adding to your journal, your binder, or whatever you use to keep your thoughts in, your feelings or whatever, you can look back on it like, damn. Like, I give you an example. Once upon a time, a couple of months ago, I started a job, and matter of fact, it was last year actually, and I was looking at it a couple of months ago, and I was having a weird feeling about this particular person on his job. You know how you catch a person a couple of times throwing shade your way, but you get them benefit of the doubt. And I put in my journal how I thought this person was shady. I thought this person was going to try their hand with me. And a couple of months ago, I looked back on my journal because it just so happened that that person did try me, right? So you can look back on things, and then you could say, compared to my journal a couple of years ago, where I asked God for discernment on things. God, show me things, so I can be better at picking up little things off people, the little signs. And when I look back on those things, I'm like, okay, I'm growing a little bit because I'm getting better at sensing little things with people. You see what I'm saying? Like sensing when this person a little shady, when they're a little petty, So for me, it's kind of fun because you can look. That's one thing Keke Palmer said that was true. You can look back on certain things like, okay, like I'm getting better at this, but I need to work on that. So the point is, yeah, we can put away our journals. Remember how Keke said she had all her journals since she was young. I wish I kept mine when I was young, but I didn't. You can't cry over spilled milk. Now you started now. And she said how her baby daddy had ruined all her journals. I know she was crushed. That shit will hurt. That shit will really hurt. I know people in the comments were saying, big deal. It's a big goddamn deal. It's a big goddamn deal. That shit hurts you because as a woman, especially as a woman, I was telling my dudes this the other day. I want my journals to pass down to my daughters. So I always said for me, or my sons, they can see little stuff, from a woman's perspective on things, and they can understand women a little better with certain things. You don't know what she had planned for those journals. So the point that I'm getting at, people out there like me, hell, I've heard people in their 40s and 50s journaling, and stuff like that. So it's not like that's just a young girl thing. That's something I feel every woman should have a journal. When it gets full, go get another one. It don't have to be a composition notebook. I hate composition notebooks. It could be a spiral, or hell, it could be a binder. And make sure it doesn't leave your home. Oh God, make sure it does not leave your home. Okay. Women, we already know. Okay. So keep it home for God's sake. Okay. And when you have these journals, you'll see where I'm going with this. In my journal, I have the passcode to all of my computers. I have like a little teeny laptop. I keep all my phones, all my old computers, whether I use them or not. I still keeps them, right? And in your journals, none of my journals are locked because I don't have company. So I don't have to worry about nobody coming in here reading my shit. For real, I ain't got nothing to hide, But in your journals, in my journal, I have the passcode to all my old phones. I have the passcodes to my computers. You get where I'm going with that? So you never know, God forbid, when the person that's reading it may need that shit. You see what I'm saying? You don't know what they may need. You don't know. Put your thoughts in there. People that you're second guessing. People that you don't know, you feeling shady about. You don't know what detective may need that. You may think of it now, oh, ain't nothing going da-da-da-da. You don't know. Now just think, I'm just saying. Y'all not about to like this, what I'm about to say. Now just think, I'm not saying Kim was secretive. But just think, had she told one person, or maybe if she had like a journal, tucked away somewhere. As they said, she had a couple of real close friends that never crossed her while she was here. You couldn't tell not one person, not one. Now think, had she told one person, maybe if it was some foul play, maybe by now they could have had it solved. You see what I'm saying? So, more of the story, as women, we need to leave something laying around. Something. I don't tell people my thoughts. I write it down. I mean, I may come up here and give y'all my opinion on stuff, but that's all I'm going to do. You see what I'm saying? But I'm talking about outside of social media. So, as we all know, social media is, I don't know about nobody else, but social media to me is not real. Tuck away your thoughts. Write that shit down in your journal somewhere. You don't know who may need that shit. You don't know. I bet Kim would have never thought in a million years that it's going to come a day when somebody may have needed to see that phone. So that, to me, I'm going to be honest with y'all. To me, that strikes me as she knew she could not trust a soul. And I don't know about, this is why whenever I see a woman with a whole bunch of females around her, and then something like this happens, I side-eye everybody. Everybody. Because it's like, why you got all these people around you if you know you can't trust these people? Because even though that medium said all her friends did not cross her, but some did, but some didn't. So, for you not to tell at least the ones that did not cross you, that means you still didn't put a level of trust in them. That means you still had a funny feeling about them. Now, if everything this lady said was true, to me it's kind of creepy. Because it's kind of creepy. Now, to me, because it's like, damn, she really can talk to the dead. But it's like, I mean, it's not nothing that I would want to do. But I've had someone tell me, you don't worry about the dead, you got to worry about the living, right? But I mean, I don't know, y'all. It's kind of creepy, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When she said that something about the tin can and some leg in the nose, and to me, I'm not saying she lying, but it's like, do I believe it? I don't know. Because part of me like, why didn't they bring that to the public? So I know people were saying that they had said that she had passed away from pneumonia. And then people were saying, well, she really did have pneumonia. But they also feel with the pneumonia, she was already sick, right? They were saying she was already sick. That's why she was using the nasal spray, right? But when she was using the nasal spray, something, you know, we're going to just say something bad was in the nasal spray, and then it was a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, do I believe somebody could have tampered with her nasal spray? Yes. I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts on what I think happened. Then I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm not saying that's what necessarily happened. I'm not saying it. I mean, I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I think it's true when she said Kim went to that event and she heard some things that she wasn't supposed to hear. And she probably was already, they said her and P. Diddy was already seeing, you know, not eye to eye in her final days, right? So when you really think about it, paint the picture like this, right? Everything was fine until she said she was going to write a book. That's number one, right? Okay, number two, they already won't see eye to eye. Okay, that's number two, right? Number three, okay, she went to this party and she heard other things that she wasn't supposed to hear. Okay, so that's number three. So you put all that together. I'm pretty sure if she heard something she wasn't supposed to hear, even if she didn't come directly to Diddy and tell him about it, I'm pretty sure she mentioned it. So probably a couple things she wasn't supposed to hear. She already knew he was a freak, you know. So that probably tapped into her thoughts, and it played a factor. But it probably wasn't like, okay, I already know he a freak. Even if she did know he was bisexual, I think he's bisexual. I don't think he's gay. I think he's bisexual. Okay? I've heard bisexual people can like one more than the other. But for the most part, they're bisexual, right? I think he's bisexual. I'm not going to say gay. I think he's bisexual. And in that type of industry, they say it's better. I mean, these days, people are doing it more. But back in the day, around the 90s, early 2000s, it really wasn't the way it was now. Like with the Lil Nas X's, Frank Ocean's. I know that's a different genre, but y'all get my drift. In the music industry as a whole, it wasn't really accepted the way that it is now. Like, for example, to me, I think Prince was gay. Me personally, I love Prince more than Michael Jackson, but nobody can tell me that man wasn't gay. I love me some Diamonds and Pearls. I love me some Kiss. But at the end of the day, nobody can tell me that man wasn't gay. Okay? But nonetheless, right? I think a combination of her hearing things she wasn't supposed to hear, them already not seeing eye to eye, her about to write that book. I think Diddy knew what time it was. And he said, oh, hell no. I gotta get a handle on this shit before it really hit the fan. Because for the most part, though they weren't married, and even though they didn't see eye to eye, let's just say she was still here, she still would have been set either way because she has his children. If I'm not mistaken, they got a little boy together too. But even if she ain't had number one by him, that's really enough for her to be set for life. Because she still could have got child support. So it's kind of like this. Even if you don't F with me for real, at the end of the day, I still got your baby. So you gonna have to send the coin either way. And I feel that he had to do something about it because he felt like, okay, I got to get her up out of here before this book drop. Because just because you may not feel a certain way about me being bisexual, how do I know the world? You know, he may not wanted people to know just yet. Because if he didn't care, he would have said it. Now, I'm going to tell you this. People can say what they want to say about Diddy, but he's a damn good father. So even though I feel her soul is not at peace. If what this lady is saying is true, Kim's soul is not at peace, even though she's with God. At the end of the day, think about it. God forbid if that were to happen to you, we even in the afterlife with God, of course you're happy. Of course you're in a better place. But at the end of the day, you still like, damn, I still want to be with my girls. You see what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing like raising your own children. You know, and I'm going to say this, Diddy, I believe Diddy, even though he do what he do, I don't think he will put his kids in harm's way. You know, I don't get that vibe from him. He give me the vibe that he gonna make sure they got the best security. They go to the best schools. They get anything they want. So from a mother's, now one day I'll be a mother, but you know, I'ma just say this. Even if, how can I say this? I just put it this way, because one day I will be a mother. From a mother's perspective, it's like, okay, well, I know that my girls and my children are in good hands, you know, but at the end of the day, it's still like, that shit was still fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still fucked up. Like, damn. You know, I'm going to give you an example. People can say what they want to say. Oh, but it's still this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, wrong is still wrong. I'm going to give you an example. So, not too long ago, a couple years ago, bitches had teamed up on me to get me off a job, right? And they succeeded, right? So, I ended up finding an even better job, paying more. But the average person, when I would tell them, I would say, I'm so pissed. I'm still pissed about that shit. People would say, well, why do you care? You work with so-and-so now, fuck it, right? That shit still made me mad because it's like, that shit was still fucked up. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the principle of things, right? It's just wrong, and it pisses you off even more when a person got away with it. It pisses you off even more. So, that's just to give you an example, right? So, even though she's up there, she's in a better place, and her kids are safe, and, you know, they're not hurting or wanting for anything, it's still fucked up. If everything that lady said was true, it's fucked up, you know? But, nonetheless, I believe if what this lady is saying is true, I believe he had his hand in it. And I'm going to tell you what. A combination of those three things, again, her overhearing some things, them not seeing eye to eye in the book, right? I believe he felt like, I got to get her up out of here before it hit the fan, right? But not only that, she said something about some cameras being in her house, because they say once you get to heaven, you can see a lot of things from the past and the future. They say once you get to heaven, you can see how you left, right? She said, the psychic said how she always heard people say how it was going to happen. It didn't happen that way. It's an outer body experience. You know, and she said when she saw herself, it scared her because, you know, but I've heard people say the bodies that we have here are just to walk around. That's why they say get your soul right. I've heard people say things like that. That's why they say get your soul right. Because your body will still be here. Your soul will be on the other side. Definitely makes perfect sense, right? But the thing is, Okay, so here's the thing for me, right? I know a lot of people in the comments were saying, well, how did she not know the cameras were around? And I don't know. Like I just said, I've heard people say when you get to the other side, you can like see little things that you probably miss, or you can see the future because you're looking down, um do I think it's true? I mean, me personally, to be honest, when I make it to heaven, I don't want to see what happened that I missed. Because to me, it'll make me mad. Like, damn, how did I miss that? Do I want to know what happened? Maybe. But kind of not, because it's like, then you're going to be mad at yourself. Like, damn, if only I had did this. If only I had did that. To me, I don't know if I would want to. I mean, everybody's different. We don't even know if that's true. She said that when she heard stories of how they say it's gonna happen, it was not like that at all. I don't even like to hear people talk like that, because is it just me? Because it's like, for one thing, we don't know if it's true, and for two, I don't want to talk to nobody that has actually experienced it and still is here with me, because I don't know. I just never been one to really want to, you know what I'm saying? Because we all gonna have our day. So it's like, to me, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay, I'll say this. If it's true what she's saying, if the camera thing is true, I believe somebody in Diddy camp did it. And if it's true what she was saying, I believe, how can I say this? If it's true what she was saying, I know people were saying, well, how did this stuff get in the nasal spray? Think about it. If they got cameras in there and they always see her use this same nasal spray, if she's sick, right? And they said something about a tin can. They can see on the camera, she always at this tin can. She's always using this nasal spray. And they probably knew the girls wouldn't use it. They probably knew that she's the only one that uses the nasal spray or the tin can. So they probably knew, that's a good way to get her. When people are sick, their immune system is low. I know people were saying, well, if it's true about the leg, why did they take her out? And we don't know what else they could have put in that stuff. We don't know how strong her immune system already was. We don't know. So do I believe it's far-fetched? No. But not once did they say she didn't have pneumonia. We're not going to sit here and act like pneumonia hasn't took people up away from here. Not once did they say she did not have pneumonia. So... And I don't remember the medium. Maybe I missed that part. But I don't remember the medium saying she didn't have pneumonia. I don't remember the medium saying that. So, maybe she was sick, and maybe they just, I hate to say it this way, maybe Diddy just expedited the process. I mean, I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't, But... And I know people in the comments were saying, why did the medium say there's something special about the boy? There's something, because I've heard women say that you love all your children, but something is just something about that firstborn, whether it's a girl or a boy. I have a cousin that say that her firstborn, she has a deeper connection with her firstborn, because they say your firstborn, actually, y'all grow up together. Y'all grow up together. They're the one that taught you how to be a mother. They're the one that you made the most mistakes with because you're new to motherhood. You know, they say they love all their kids, but it's something different about it. So that's not nothing that I know people say, I never heard nobody put it that way. I have. Like my godmother used to say, she loved her grandkids, but it's she it's still not the same love that she has for her daughter. Because it's different. Like, that's somebody that actually came from you versus the grandchild came from your child. I mean, you love both of them, but they say it's different, So, that may have been y'all first time hearing that, but that's not my first time hearing that myself. I've heard people say things like that. So, I don't think it's a matter of her loving her son, her oldest son, more than any of her other kids. I don't think so. I think it's a matter of, like I just said, her oldest son probably was, taught her how to be a mother. Probably taught her, the do's and the don'ts. And, it probably molded her to be, a better woman, a better person. Not saying that she wasn't a better person, but y'all get my drift. Yeah. So, I think it was a good, the interview was good when you look up and the interview is over with. I said, damn, 54 minutes now already passed by. You know something good when you like, damn. But versus when you keep looking up at the phone or the computer or the TV damn, when is shit over? That's, it's good when you lose track of time. So, I think it was pretty good. Like I said, I think some things she said rung true. Some things I just didn't like when she said she wants me to think she's smart. I'm saying to myself, shade, But other than that, I thought it was a cute interview for what it was. And that's just, One thing for certain and two things for sure. One thing I have learned in life, don't spare nobody when it comes to your job, because you better believe when it comes to you, ain't nobody gonna spare you. I need to stop taking a shower and then going right out. You take a shower maybe 10 minutes before you go outside, and it's 40-something degrees outside. Then you wonder why you have a cough and a sneeze. Hello. Anyway, common sense. But yeah, so anyway, I just don't believe in taking a bird bath. I got thighs and hips and shit. You can't put no bird bath around these corners. You gotta, anyway, y'all know for my BBWs out there, y'all already know what it's giving, okay? We can't be doing that, all right? So anyway, nonetheless, even though I'm in the office, I just still don't, But yeah, so you can't be sparing people when it comes to your job, because you better believe one thing I have learned in life, ain't nobody gonna spare you. So you better do what you gotta do, So yesterday, mind you, I'm in the process of I'm not dissing my day job, federal government accounting. I'm not dissing it. But I'm actually in the process of trying to find another day job that, I'm going to just say it pays more so that I don't have to work two jobs. I'm going to just be honest. I've been working two jobs since I was 20 years old, and I'm tired of it at this point. I feel like I'm walking into my third semester of grad school, and I'm tired. I want more money. I'm tired of it. I'm not dissing it. I thank God for, being able to pay all my bills. And, I worked two jobs going through undergrad. I worked two jobs when I was about to go to undergrad, and I'm at a place now, I feel like, not to say I paid my dues, because whenever it's like, seem like every time an older person heard me say that, they be like, girl, you ain't seen the half of life just yet, But I mean, as far as with, like my cousin said, well, I know what you mean, this, that, and the third, because you don't understand how it is to have kids and this, that, and da. The reason why I say that, because people feel like they understand, they got you all figured out. Okay, you work 3 jobs, but at the end of the day, okay, you say you had three kids and you work 2 jobs. So you understand what I mean? No, you don't, because there are 2 part-time jobs. There's 2 part-time jobs, but then you say being a mother is 24/7. People try to feel like they understand what you know, they understand what you're saying and they understand where you're coming from, but they don't. It's not the same dinosaur. It's not the same shit. You see what I'm saying? You cannot tell me how I should feel and how my body should feel if you haven't walked a mile in my shoes. You can't tell me shit. All in undergrad, I worked 2 40-hour jobs, and I was going to school full time. That's full time. That don't compare. That's not the same shit. You cannot tell me how I should feel and how my body should feel. That's not the same shit. And then people be like, okay, well, for the most part, on both jobs, you sit in the office, you sit at a desk. What the fuck are you complaining about? That's not the same thing. If you're not dealing with numbers 24/7, your mind is constantly going, trying to, this is numbers we talking about. You miss a 0, you add a 0, that's your ass. You see what I'm saying? People don't really understand what I'm talking about. They don't really get it. You know, I want my weekends back. I couldn't tell you the last time I just walked around the mall on a weekend just to walk around the mall. I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell you the last time I have done that. You know, because for the most part, I'm working on the weekends. You know, you up all day, then you're trying to go to work at night. You get 2 to 3 hours of sleep, then you got to go back to work that night. Your mind is up all night. Then you got to rush home, get yourself together, go back to work. Then the days that you got to go to class, that's draining the hell out of you. You got papers due, essays due. You got to sit and listen to lectures. That shit is draining. Don't tell me that shit is not draining. You don't understand. You get a break at some point for your kids when they go to sleep or something. Don't give me that shit. So it's just draining. And you know, it's just trying to balance out all the personalities you got to deal with. And you know, so like, okay, for example, my night job, right? My weekend job, right? As well, which, you know, it's night, but it stretches into the weekend as well. But y'all get my drift. So the property manager here, she, you know, when I told myself when I had a chance I was gonna talk to the night person, because on the weekends, because you know, he's gay. Not that they have anything to do with the price of tea in China, but my good Judy is a gay guy. So I know it's when you really think about it, dealing with a gay guy, it's like 2 females, basically. If you get what I'm saying. He has his attitude moment, so it's all about when you catch him in the right mood, if that makes sense. Not to say he be on his period, but he be on his period sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Like, he got his mood swings. So, but he all right? So it's all about timing for him, right? So I caught him in a good mood today. I could feel his spirit. So I said, hey. He said, what? You know. So I said, did she say anything to you about the lights or anything? Or, you know, because she came in here yesterday, you know, mugging me, telling me that she told my supervisor that I keep the lights out and stuff like that. And long story short, he told me no. I said, she didn't say nothing to you. Like, she was just, you know, you can feel like in your spirit somebody picking, but you just, you know what I'm saying? So he said, no, she didn't say nothing to me. I said, she didn't say nothing to you about nothing. He said, no. So I said, so what did she say about all these lights being out? Because she sure said something to me. He said, she did? I said, yeah. And she told him that I'm the one that turns the lights out in here. And he said, oh, damn, I'm my bad. I said, yeah, you know, and I didn't even throw him under the bus, but I was telling him in so many words. And I meant that shit. Look, now this time I didn't snitch, but next time I will. Because let me tell y'all something. One thing I have learned in life, don't be on these jobs acting like you can't snitch, you can't do this, you can't do that. Because let me tell you something. Life has taught me a couple of times. You can sit around and fuck around and watch out for everybody else if you want to, and your ass gonna be standing there with the egg on your face. I have learned that in life. And I'm gonna tell you something. Not too long ago, I threw everybody under the bus that threw me under the bus. Okay? And by the time that I threw everybody under the bus, they had already beat me to the punch. And you know one thing one of my old supervisors told me, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. I told them about everything close to the end, meaning close to my exit out the door. And you know what? By that time, everybody had already took turns tagging my ass to get me out the door. And you know what that taught me? That taught me a hard lesson. You know what? Don't be on these jobs looking out for everybody else. And you better bet, people, when it comes to money, people gonna do what the fuck they gotta do. You can sit around and fuck around and act stupid if you want to. You gonna be the one left standing with the short end of the stick. Okay? So from that point forward, Now, the only reason why I didn't throw him under the bus the first go round is because he ain't did shit to me. But you better bet if it was a motherfucker I ain't care much for, I wouldn't have hesitated. I'm not doing that shit no more, because at the end of the day, that's your money. Ain't nobody got a damn dime to give you. Damn that you a snitch, you a chicken, you like what thing somebody told me, you throwing everybody under the bus, everything that people told you, now you're telling it, because y'all done sat right there and went behind my back and told these people all a whole bunch of bullshit, out of spite and jealousy. And the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Don't sit here and try to make it seem like I'm the bad guy. So basically, let me tell you something. Anytime motherfuckers go behind your back and team up on you, one by one, and then when you finally get back, they say, well, real character, just because we told on you, you don't supposed to tell on us. Who the fuck? No, that's not how any of this works. So basically, y'all could do it to me, but I can't do it to y'all. But you know what? That taught me a lesson. From that point forward, when I'm on jobs, I don't, no. Because you better bet you'll be standing outside while they still inside. I don't do that shit no more. You got to think about you at the end of the day. So I told him, and I put in my little DAR, because the residents here, they are elderly people. They have to be able to, see where they going and stuff like that. Me personally, I like the lights dim low myself. That's why I won't tripping over until she says something, because I have light sensitivity. I told y'all even my living room, I have black curtains. I have light sensitivity. I don't like a lot of light my damn self. So I won't really tripping over the lights. I know he probably sleeping here overnight. So, which I don't trip, because I have done it many times in undergrad, sleeping on my night job. Hell, I seen times I have slept the whole shift away. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie. But the thing is, you can fuck around if you want to, and everybody be there and you ain't. At the end of the day, until I find me another day job that covers all my bills, again, I'm not dissing my day job. It's a good stepping stone. I'm not dissing it at all. But at the end of the day, I need more money. So I'm trying to go about things the right way. You never quit a job, or you never leave a job until you find something else. But until I find something else that pays more money, soon as I find something else, I'm putting in my 2-week notice. I mean, on both jobs. I was at first, I told my dudes, I said, I'm only going to put it in on my day job, because that's the one that really, you don't want to burn a bridge. But at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about going about things the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I told myself, I said, I'm going to put it in on both jobs. Don't do that, because you don't know if this is another bridge you're going to have to walk across again or not. So when I find something else, I haven't told nobody on neither job what I plan on doing. But once I find something else, it's adios. Because I want more. I told myself, you ain't go to school all these many years to be, working 2 jobs. No, fuck that. You go out there and see what you can find. Now, me and my dudes was having a conversation. I was telling her that certain drives, like I've noticed in certain cities, have the type of money that I'm looking for. But at the same token, I know I don't want to go get nothing top dollar, because I still got to work on my attitude. I still got to work on some things. And I just don't want to blow it just yet. But I do need a couple more I need a couple more bands. I do. I need a couple more bands on top of that salary. Because like for example, my day job, it covers all my bills, every single one of my bills. But when I tell you I don't have nothing left over after that, you see what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? You ain't got no money to play with. So my new day job, I want it to be enough that I have enough to pay my bills and money to play with. And money to save. That make y'all get my drift. But nonetheless, yeah, that taught me a lesson. And from that point forward, you know, you be about your business on these jobs. Because motherfuckers, at the end of the day, they act like, oh, don't snitch, don't do this, don't do that. But you better bet, when ain't nobody around, they sending an email to them people, can I talk to you for a second? Can I this, can I that? And you been looked up and fucked around and that been dead on that, okay? People gonna do what they gotta do when it comes to bread. But nonetheless, yeah, you know, I know I'm gonna miss my day job. I know I'm gonna miss it. But who knows, like my dude said, you might find something else that has a flexible schedule. It's very flexible. Yeah, you know. So other than that, what else? I'm planning on being away from there no later than, because here's the thing. I know I'm talking all this trash now, but when I tell y'all my day job is only 8 minutes away from my home, ain't nothing like finding a job that's right there. I don't know about nobody else, but I don't like working far away from home. And that's going to be a commute, you know, that's going to be a thing for me. Like my dudes always say, you can't expect to always get your cake and eat it too. Okay, so you want to be close to home but working 2 jobs, or you want to go a little further out and get everything you need from that one job. Which one you want? But y'all, when I tell y'all, it was one time my flip-flop broke. I'm going to tell you how close I stayed to that job. I literally snuck out the door to nobody to this day. They still don't know. When I tell y'all, they still don't know. I snuck out the door, went home, got some new flip-flops, came back. Nobody never knew. Nobody never knew. That's how close I stay. But my thing is, what if I find something that pays more, but what if I got to stay in traffic? What if, you know what I'm saying? What if I got to go, you know, far out to get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to feel like I got to get off work and be sitting in traffic for like 30 minutes. Like, who wants to deal with that? But anyway, I've been praying on it, and I've been asking God to order my footsteps. Because, you know, I just want to make the right decision. I don't want to be somewhere. I don't want to leap and leave and then go somewhere I hate it just because I saw the dollar signs. If that makes sense. But yeah, y'all, that's what it is. Just a mental health check-in, but that's what it is.